This is LA, our city, our home, Los Angeles. We never walk alone, forever true. We'll stay in tribute to our city, no matter where we go. This is our home. On the sun's
Hello and welcome to This Week in LA. I'm your host as always, Eli Lesser, and I'm here obviously in the beautiful town, the City of Angels, Los Angeles, and home of two of the biggest franchises in MLS. You don't really need an introduction here. This is not the first time I've done this show. Anyways, very important weeks coming up for both LA sides. Can LAFC clinch their playoff berth in their inaugural season and work towards that first round bye? Well, I'll answer that in a few minutes. And can the LA Galaxy beat the Sounders, who have been on fire and are just ahead of them in the standings? And can the LA Galaxy actually make the playoffs in general? I'll answer that question as well. Let's look at the current standings here. LAFC is currently in third in the Western Conference with 47 points, only 4 points behind SKC in first place. So, with 6 games left for them, it's looking pretty good for LAFC. I do think they'll clinch a playoff spot either this weekend or next. I mean, it's looking good if you're an LA Football Club fan. LA Galaxy, however, not in a good spot. They've already played 29 games, which is a lot more than the teams ahead of them, or one more than the teams ahead of them. Anywho, they currently sit at 8th right now in the Western Conference, below the red line with 38 points. So basically, to make the playoffs, they're going to have to win pretty much every single game, at least get a result. At this point in the season, a draw will not be enough for the Galaxy. So just have to wait and see what happens. I mean, they're not eliminated out of contention yet, but it's highly unlikely we'll see them in the playoffs unless they can pull it together. And I'll tell you guys how they will pull it together in just a moment. But first, let's talk about LAFC's game. This game will be on Saturday, September 22nd at 12:30 p.m. Pacific Time. LAFC will host the San Jose Earthquakes on Univision. In their previous match against each other, which was earlier in the season, LAFC defeated San Jose in San Jose 4-3, a very action-packed game that wasn't decided until late. It actually wasn't decided until the 97th minute on a goal scored by rookie João Moutinho, who I will talk about later. Anyways, on the San Jose side of things, their injury report, just Kevin Partida, who doesn't really make that big of an impact. So when it comes to the projected starting lineup, Andrew Tarbell, Nick Lima, Guillaume Kashia, Harold Cummings, Shea Salinas. So a very, very beatable defense if you're LAFC. Then you have Luis Felipe in the midfield, followed by Vaco, Anibal Godoy, Jackson Uyel, and Magnus Eriksson, and then Danny Huysen on top. So I don't think this is a very good team, personally, and the record doesn't suggest anything otherwise, as they are, well, the worst team in the league with only 20 points this season. Oy vey. So, LAFC could approach this game two different ways. They could either take the approach saying, hey, we need to clinch our playoff spot. Every game matters, no matter what the opponent is. Or they could be like, yo, we're probably gonna make the playoffs anyways. Let's give some guys the chance to shine. So I decided when I gave my hopeful lineup for the week to do a mixture of both. I put out a lineup that has some unfamiliar faces to the 11/subs, because on this show I do my starting 11 and then 3 subs I'd like to see. And then also with this lineup, it's a lineup that will win, not just a game that will have bench players that you normally see. And it sucks because LAFC will be missing Aaron Kovar for this game, and I thought this would be a perfect game to use Aaron Kovar. Also injured is Adama Diomande, Queen Roberts, and Mark Anthony Kaye, which we already knew. Poor Diomande. Anyway, here is my starting lineup. So at goal, I actually don't have Tyler Miller. I'm going to go with Luis Lopez here. I think I could trust him. Yes, in his one start he lost, but that was to a very good Sporting Kansas City side. This is a different team. This is the San Jose Earthquakes. So I have Luis Lopez starting at goal. And by the way, this isn't who I think will start, but this is who I would like to see maybe. That's what this lineup is. At right back, not going to change anything up. I'm going to stick with Steven Beitashour. Dude's hella consistent. My center back pairing, I'm going to play it safe with Danilo Silva and Walker Zimmerman, who just declined a contract renewal for next season. He hopes to go to the Bundesliga, Premier League, or English Championship, but he is still on the team and will be on the team for the rest of 2018, so I have him starting. Now here's where it gets a bit interesting. At left back, I have Joao Moutinho, the first overall pick in the MLS Super Draft. At the beginning of the season, we saw Joao Moutinho more. He's kind of faded away a little bit, but he is the guy who scored the game winner in San Jose, and if he doesn't start, I'd like to see him come off the bench. But he's a guy in a spot that I feel comfortable not going with the absolute best guy, which in LAFC's case is Jordan Harvey. Then the midfield, I'm going to stay with the trio, Lee Nguyen, Benny Feilhaber, and Edward Atuesta. Up top is where it gets a little interesting. Right wing and left wing, Carlos Vela and Diego Rossi. By the way, I'm going with a 4-3-3 because that's what they usually play. Up top is the interesting one. So, thinking about it. So, LAFC has many options to start at striker. G Monday's injured, Christian Ramirez, and Marco Urena. I decided to go with Marco Urena in this one. First of all, Ramirez, since coming, hasn't really broken out yet. He still hasn't really fit into the system perfectly yet. But yet is a very key word there because I do think that Ramirez will be fine in the long run. Marco Urena's scored recently his first goal for LAFC, and he also spent the past couple seasons in San Jose. So I feel like he would know this lineup inside and out, even though they're a different looking San Jose squad than when he was on the team even last year. I'd like to see Marco Urena up top here. And that's going to wrap it up for the LAFC game. Not much to say here. I completely disregarded my subs. So my subs for this game, I'm going to go with Andre Horta, definitely. Christian Ramirez will be a sub. And the interesting one, Joshua Perez, a player I really want to see make his debut for LAFC. He was in the lineup last game. I'm not sure if he was in the lineup the night before. I'm talking about 18, so he didn't actually get any playing time. So I'd really like to see Joshua Perez make his debut. He is a right winger, so I have him. If LAFC comes up early and goes up maybe 2-0 or something, I have him replacing Carlos Vela. Fair enough. Okay, so my keys to the game. First of all, don't let the competition fool you. They're still an MLS team. And I would love to see Beitashour and Joao Moutinho, if Joao Moutinho is the starter, really push up on this one. I mean, San Jose has a very inexperienced defense besides Guillaume Cachia, so I'd like to see them kind of pressure that defense a bit more. So I'd like to see the fullbacks press up. I'd like to see pressing throughout the whole game. And I'd also like to see Marco Urena sit back into like a false 9 role, let Diego Rossi and Vela go a bit more forward. Maybe Urena could slide into the number 10. I don't know, but I think the midfield's got to be set in stone with those three. I mean, that trio's been great so far. So I'm not really worried for LAFC in this one. I definitely see a result at least coming out of this game. I mean, you can never just say they're going to win a game because you never really know. But I'm pretty confident in LAFC this weekend. Let's go to the next one. The LA Galaxy will host the Seattle Sounders at 4 p.m. Pacific time on Sunday. This game will be on FS1. Seattle has had the Galaxy's number recently. A couple weeks ago, August 18th, the Seattle Sounders demolished the LA Galaxy 5-0. That was the worst thing I've ever seen. And the games before that have also not been in the Galaxy's favor. But let's see if today could be, or this game could be a different one. I mean, Seattle Sounders have class all over. They have Raul Ruidiaz, Nicolas Ladero, Svensson, Roldan, Marshall, Fry. I mean, it goes on. And they did just snap their 9-game winning streak. So that could be a little key. They could be a little shaken. I'm not entirely convinced by that. No injury report for the Galaxy, claiming that everyone is healthy as of now, which I am not buying. If I'm Dom Kinnear, I wouldn't be expecting Giovanni Dos Santos to make an appearance. Salt. Sorry for the bath salt. Anyways, let's go into my starting 11 with my 3 subs. And I am going with a 4-4-2. I want to change it up. The Galaxy need to change it up right now. A whole new change of scenery. They're going to need a roster shake next season. Anywho, at goal, as much as I want to say Von Steeg or Sylvester, and this is a crucial game, and I know Kinnear is going to start Bingham. He's obviously going to start Bingham, so David Bingham at goal. At right back and left back, Felcher and Cole. My center back pairing is where it gets nice. At left center back, it's got to be Dave Romney, surely. I mean, I think he's the best center back on the team alongside, or I believe he's the second best, because the best center back on the team doesn't get any playing time, and that's Daniel Steres, and I have him at right center back. I think Dave Romney and Daniel Steres are a terrific combo together. I mean, they work off each other so well when they do get the chance to play with each other, which we haven't seen in such a long time. In the midfield, so obviously it's a 4-4-2, so there are 4 midfielders. At right mid, I have Roman Alessandrini. The dude's a stud whenever he's in the game. Jonathan Dos Santos was really impressive in LA's loss against Toronto last week. Then I have Sebastian Lletget at left center mid. And then at left mid, I've decided to go with Ima Boateng. When are we going to see Emmanuel Boateng start? I mean, if something's not working for the Galaxy, you guys, I mean, they got to fix it. And then up top, we have the dynamic duo of Ola Kamara and Zlatan Ibrahimovic. My 3 subs, at left center back, my sub for Dave Romney will be Tomas Hilliard-Arce. Yes, no Skelvik, no Siani. I'm tired of seeing the defense break down week after week because of those two, Michael Siani and Jorgen Skelvik. So yes, my sub is Tomas Hilliard-Arce, if he even gets called up to make the 18. Then my 2 midfield subs will be Perry Kitchen for Sebastian Lletget, just in case the Galaxy get in a lead, not saying they will. But if they do happen to find themselves ahead, they might need to take a defensive approach and put in Perry Kitchen. And then my late sub for Emmanuel Boateng will be Chris Pontius. The dude's an absolute beast still. And he's like 31, 32 now. So kudos to Chris Pontius for still being an absolute unit out there. My keys to the game for the LA Galaxy, I hate to say it, but defense first. I mean, we saw this last time against the Sounders. Even though the Galaxy didn't score, they gave up 5 goals against the Sounders. So they need to lock down on a man or something. Figure it out defensively. Work out of the back. Just keep Zlatan forward and have the rest of the numbers stay behind the ball. I think that's the way to go for the Galaxy. That's what Handsome Dan Kennedy said last week to me. So I definitely like to see all 9 players and Bingham stay behind the ball and then keep Zlatan Ibrahimovic up top for the counterattack, and that's how the Galaxy are going to beat the Sounders. Do I think they can do it? I don't know, man. It's an effort thing. On paper, the Galaxy are a top team in MLS, so I don't understand why they can't play like it. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. I'll be at both games, so if you're listening and you will be at the games, hit me up. I love meeting you guys. It's one of my favorite things that I do. I'm Eli Lesser, and I leave you with This Is LA. I'll see you guys later.
This is LA.